I think Mike McDaniels is one hell of a coach. I think
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. Mike McDaniels, Dable, the Bears could have had them. We took Flus.
Dable right now, though. Dable right now. If Dable,
I don't think it's Dable's play calling. I think it's Daniel Jones is a piece of fucking shit.
Yeah, there's that too. If Dable,
why would you ever pay Daniel Jones?
If Dable has Justin Fields and what the Bears have right now, it's a top 10 offense.
100%. Dable is still the truth. Mike McDaniels is incredible.
11 sacks last game? Is that how many it was?
Yeah, 11.
Justin Fields got sacked 8 times against the Browns with the turnstiles from Union Station blocking him. All right.
Yep.
And Daniel Jones is gonna get sacked 11 times.
Yeah. And I watched that entire game too. It was like Daniel Jones wasn't even trying not to get sacked either. Like, Fields was running for his life. Matt Nagy was fucking calling his plays into the fucking ground. I mean, we're talking Daniel Jones was getting calls, you know what I mean? Like he was getting calls from Dable. Dable's a good dude, I think. I tend to believe, I'm not going to put Dable and Nagy in the same conversation. I tend to have more respect for Dable, you know, but like, shit,
I like
11 sacks is bad.
That doesn't look good. At what point do you take your quarterback out so he doesn't get injured?
Well, apparently the last 2 minutes of the game.
Unless you're trying to injure your quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, that's possible too.
Yeah, that's crazy. I want to go back to the Bears real quick too.
Yeah.
I'm not letting this coaching staff off. I still think we need to fire them all into the fucking sun. I don't really give a fuck that, you know, we're starting to figure it out. I think it's more so like Fields said, hey, do you want a job next year or not? And I know everybody says you don't get, as a quarterback, you don't get 3 coaching staffs. I think Fields deserves it because I think he has enough talent. I just think like, I don't know what's so difficult about it. You go give John Gruden, Jim Harbaugh, Ryan Day, blank fucking checks. Come coach in Chicago.
You know, I would give them, I'm not firing them this year. I'm firing at the end of the year if I need to, you know? Like, I'm giving them the rest of the year now because they've proven they could win somehow. If they play and coach like they've done from this game forward, if they coach like that till the end of the game, I'm saying, listen, I'll give you another year. I'm willing to do it. You know, you got to keep up with it. If not, send them on their way. But now I read this. I completely forgot about it. Matt Eberflus said that with the long week now, because they don't play on Sunday, they play next week.
Yep.
He said he possibly might sign a defense coordinator. If he does, what are the odds that it's Lovie Smith?
I don't think Lovie's coaching anymore. I think he's had enough time.
I would absolutely love if Lovie Smith came back as defense coordinator. He may
That'd
not
be
be
sweet.
the best coach, but let me tell you, that guy, he could bring it out of his team.
Yeah, he did great with the Texans. Obviously, we should fucking have a statue of Lovie for what he did. Yeah.
Where's his statue?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I for the record too, Eberflus, the man, I like him. All right, and even Eberflus, the coach, I like him. I don't know if he's still ready to be the head guy, and there's something fucking scummy about Luke Getsy having a former Packer, like straight from the Packers, a Packers dude on the staff. It feels gross. It feels like week 1 was a ploy. It feels like week 1 was maybe a setup. Maybe setup. I don't know. Just putting it out there.
It just, I tend to agree with you, where I don't like the fact that it's a former Packer coach. And it comes like...
It's the oldest rivalry in the NFL. We fucking hate the Packers.
So many other teams, their offensive coordinator, okay? It usually goes like, you keep it in the family if you're a successful team. Your your quarterback coach eventually turns into your offensive coordinator. If he leaves, that quarterback coach moves up again. You know?
Yep.
Your linebackers coach, your defensive line coach, your offensive coach moves up to defensive coordinator. You know? Your offensive coordinator turns into your head coach and all that. You know? It moves up like that. Something doesn't fit right with me, where every time we get a coach or something, it's like nothing's ever kept in the family here. Nothing with this team. The only thing that's kept in the fucking family is the goddamn McCaskies not selling the fucking team. That's the only thing kept in the family. But there is like no sense of Chicago pride, it seems. You don't. Is the staff just so terrible that you can't move someone up there? Like Vic Fangio, he should have been our head coach. He should have been.
See, that's the thing. More so now than ever. Hand to God, man. When we hired Flus, I was like, defensive head coach. Okay, great. That's fine. I am now more so than ever understanding why the offensive head coach is, it matters, right? Because otherwise, like, okay, say the Bears go on a run and Getsy gets interviews for head coaching jobs. Does Fields now have to learn a new offense? Because that would suck. That would suck so fucking bad for a young up-and-coming quarterback, you know? I mean, look at Josh Allen. He even had some struggles after Daboll left, you know? Like, and if I'm not mistaken, their offensive coordinator now, Ken Dorsey, is still kind of from that Daboll tree. I think he was in the building at least, so he was able to kind of pick things up. But if we have to go and get a whole new dude, that's a complete mess. So I understand the value of an offensive head coach right now.
That's why you got to keep it in the family.
You got to keep that dude.
You got to keep it in the family. If when Daboll left, and if it's not someone from that team, someone from a completely different tree, anyone's gonna struggle because you're learning a completely different offense again.
Right.
You got to keep the basics there. You got to keep the basics, which is why I hate Getsy at times, but the fact that he just maybe, he's actually going to start playing to Justin Fields' strengths, it gives me hope. It gives me hope for everybody.
Honestly, my realistic head coaching option, too, for this season, I know everybody's on the Ben Johnson train. I am not that guy. I have not seen enough from Ben Johnson, and I don't think... It's funny because, like, everybody thinks he made Goff, but he didn't make Goff. Goff was good before, and yes, Goff was with, you know, the fucking boy wonder, but still, like, and it's good, right, to keep Goff playing at the same level that he did with Sean McVay, right? That's obviously a huge compliment, but I still just don't think that offense, they play very old school. They play the downhill running game and all that stuff, and I think that Ben Johnson would almost be overwhelmed with the weapons that we have, and I don't know what'll happen. I don't want him in Chicago. And again, there's something about having an ex-rival in the Lions, you know, dude, come to this team. I don't like that. You know who I want to see as the Bears' next head coach if we get rid of Eberflus? Like, legitimate chance, not the fucking Ryan Day, Jim Harbaugh, and John Gruden that are on my list. Those are my big three. My big guy is Eric Bieniemy, man.
No,
I think he's proven enough. I think he's proven enough.
He got stopped by that Bears defense.
I don't think that Sam Howell is that guy. Okay, and maybe it's because I'm a little faded by North Carolina quarterbacks. Sorry, Sam Howell. Sorry, Mitch Trubisky. Sorry, Drake May. You know, I think I have good reason for that. I don't know. I just think I think that Bieniemy's done enough.
I really don't. I really don't. And
you only watch him against the Bears. The Commanders' offense has been humming otherwise.
The Commanders are 2-3.
It doesn't matter what their record says. Their offense has been humming.
Are they 2-3?
Their offense just took the Eagles to 40, right? Didn't they go 40 points almost with the Eagles into overtime?
Let's look up the Commanders' stats per game. Let's just see.
I'm pretty certain that Bieniemy has shown enough.
Now you're pretty certain. Now you're not certain anymore. Now you're pretty
I'm certain.
huh?
I'm certain. I'm certain. And honestly, Bieniemy runs kind of a West Coasty type scheme too, so it'll be an easy switch from Getsy.
Let's see what we got here. Okay, the team beat the Cardinals. Oh,
Yeah, Cardinals.
good defense
Pretty good team.
there.
Pretty good team.
They beat the Broncos. Oh,
Pretty good team.
they lost to the Bills, 37-3. What an offense! What an
Pretty
absolute offense.
terrible team.
What an absolute offense! They lost to the Eagles, 34-31 in overtime.
There we go,
You know,
30
I'll
points.
I'll give that to them though. That's not bad. They
Yeah.
just lost 40-20.
Look at the offense. Look at the offense, though. Like, look at the offense. Actually, even against the Bears, like, I feel like the offense was not terrible.
It's against the Bears.
I know, but I feel like it wasn't bad. I mean, it could just not be your night on a short week. You know?
It's the Bears.
They took the Eagles to a fucking showdown in overtime and then had to come back on a short week. That's rough. Okay? That's rough. I don't think Sam Howell is not Justin Fields. All right? That offensive line is not the Bears offensive line. All right? Like the Commanders have ex-Bears, all right? They have ex-Bears on that fucking offensive line. All right?
Let's see.
It's different. Yeah, he's got weapons. Yeah, he has Brian Robinson. He's got Scary Terry and some great receivers. But if you don't have a quarterback and you don't have an offensive line, you have nothing. We as Bears fans know this. I think Bieniemy could be this coach.
They're number 19 in points per game. They're number 17 in yards per game.
Okay.
They're number 20th in points per play.
If
They're
you
number
have no offensive line, you have no offense. Sam Cosmi the turnstile. I mean,
Let's see how their statistics is. Let's see how the offensive line is.
I don't think statistics is going to give it to you. I just think he calls good plays. He calls things in rhythm. All right. And I think he knows how to work to his players' strengths because I do not think that offense is good at all. They have weapons, but they don't have an offensive line and they don't have a quarterback. Plain and simple.
If you're not top 10 in any of those categories, Nick, you're not worthy of a head coaching job.
I think Bieniemy is my favorite option right now. Week 5, all right? 10-7, week 5. Eric Bieniemy is my top head coaching candidate for the Bears right now.
Can't get behind that train at all.
It's all right.
That's a terrible train to hop on.
That's all right.
That is. Everyone has avoided Eric Bieniemy like the flu for a reason. Because it is now proven, for fact, it is now proven that the Chiefs' offense was not about Eric Bieniemy. It was about Andy Reid. Okay?
I don't know.
About
The
the
Chiefs'
players.
offense hasn't looked like the Chiefs' offense of old because their wide receivers are shit.
And somehow they're still doing good.
They're not doing good. They did good against the Bears, and that's it. Yeah. What did the Chiefs do last week? Because the weeks before that, we know that they didn't go over 20 points. That's not great offense, dude.
It's a lot of time spent on the offense. They lost. They lost to the Lions 21-20. Okay.
Yep.
They didn't have Kelsey. They didn't have Chris Jones. They beat the Jaguars 17-9.
Yep. Still under 20 points.
But you have 305 yards and 2 touchdowns, 12 carries for 70 yards. That's a lot of offense still.
I understand.
The 2 people right there are making up 375 yards of offense.
Why didn't
They
you go
go-
to fucking Sam Howell's stats? Because Sam Howell is not the dude. Sam Howell's not Patrick Mahomes. You know what I mean?
Sam Howell threw for 388 yards against the Bears, by the way. I don't know if you knew that.
That looks like offense to me.
Not in a fucking blow against the Bears again. The terrible defense, and you still lose.
388 yards and what? Your team only scored 17 points, was it?
Let's see. I don't think they ran the ball like at all that game when it came down to it. Like they were getting.
The Bears
stopped at
didn't run the
line.
ball that much either.
Bears?
Yeah.
Bears had, I think, what, 50
We had a couple Fields runs, some Blasingame, some Herbert.
Yeah, but they equated probably over 100 yards rushing that game. I would say, right? You don't think so?
Maybe. I don't think so.
Okay, they had 76 rushing yards from Herbert before he got injured.
Wow.
Fields ran probably for 50-something yards himself.
Yeah, I guess so.
Roshan Johnson had like 20 yards before he got a concussion.
I don't know. I feel like Bieniemy is the dude.
You know what these are?
What?
Those are goalposts. See how they're moving farther apart? See that?
They're not moving farther apart.
See that? They're moving farther apart.
10/7, 2023, October 7th. Bieniemy is my next Bears head coach.
That's a terrible pick.
No.
That's terrible.
No. Who do you want? Legitimately, who do you want? Who do you want that we can go and get? Ben Johnson? You want fucking Ben Johnson?
I'd rather have Ben Johnson than Eric Bieniemy. 100%.
No.
100%.
No. That is where we disagree. That is where we disagree. And don't even pull up the fucking stats, because stats aren't going to talk to me.
I'm not pulling up the stats.
I'm not going to pull up the stats. You know what? Your goalposts. Look at these. They're crooked, too. Your fucking goalposts. Your goalposts are fucking crooked, bro. They're crooked.
I'm trying to pull up the guy that I would want to be my head coach if possible. Here's who I would take, reasonably. Frank Smith,
Who is he?
the offense coordinator for the Dolphins.
You think he has anything to do with that offense?
I think maybe he's fucking writing shit down, so when he goes to find another job, he's like, hey, I got everything written down that Mike McDaniel does. That's what I think.
Hey, I stole the whole fucking playbook, man.
That's what I think. That is what I think. I would
God
either
damn.
take him. I would maybe look into the quarterbacks coach for the Dolphins, because Tua has had like a resurgence. He was kind of a bust to me.
Now, again, you're looking for a dude that he's a quarterbacks coach and he's going to skip the rings. He's going to fucking
that's why I said
jump
Frank
all the
Smith.
way.
That's why I said Frankie Smith. Franklin Smith.
I don't know, man.
I would take him. Who was the Eagles offense coordinator?
He got stolen. That was Steichen, dude.
Maybe
They got a
who
new
else
one this year.
And here's someone I'm honestly thinking about. Maybe I'd take. In all honesty, Ron Rivera's on the hot seat.
Yes, he is.
You bring back Riverboat Ron to Chicago?
No.
Why not? What's wrong
Definitely
with Ron?
not as offensive coordinator.
What's wrong with Ron? Ron's a good guy.
I love Ron. I love Riverboat Ron. But, dude, he's losing it. He's losing his fastball, all right? I don't know. I ain't bringing him back.
In all honesty, the number one guy I want is Jim Harbaugh. I want Harbaugh.
That's what I'm saying. Like, these college dudes, I don't think that they're legitimate shots, especially with NIL and all that shit. I think they're making plenty of money and they're great in college, blah, blah,
got
blah.
suspended for the first 4 weeks.
Yeah, he's maybe a little jaded on college football, but still.
Give him a Gruden contract and send him here.
I agree. Again, do not get it twisted by any means. Those dudes get blank fucking checks. Plain and simple, end of story. Okay? If they're available, blank check, sign it, hand it to him, and give him the keys to the fucking city while you're at it too. All right?
Don't get me wrong with Ryan Day.
Legitimately,
I like Ryan Day.
it's Eric Bieniemy.
No, it's not Eric Bieniemy. That is the last person I want to be this fucking coach. I do not want Eric Bieniemy at all. He is dog shit.
I don't think so.
He couldn't lead his team to beat the Bears. The Bears, with their 7th, 8th, and 9th string defensive backs.
I get what you're saying. They're scrappy, though. Terrell Smith, great grade. Tyreek Stevenson, scrappy motherfucker. All right? We got some dudes back there. They might not be well known, but we got some dudes back there. All right? We just talked about them. We just hyped them all up.
Why aren't you running the ball through Brian Robinson, who absolutely killed us last time we played him?
I mean, yeah, I don't really know what that is all about, but I mean, it's not like Sam Howell did bad though. Again, their offense was not terrible.
Sam Howell didn't do good.
388 yards? That sounds good to me.
How many interceptions?
2.
Yeah.
There's games where Fields has 2. He had 2 in the fucking great game against Denver, did he not? He had 2 turnovers. I think it was a fumble and an interception, right? He had 2 turnovers.
The fumble, I don't blame that on him. The interception, I do. The fumble, I don't. Because he's getting whacked while he's turned around. But
okay, but maybe the same thing for Howell. You know, maybe like, all right, maybe his receiver ran the wrong route. You don't know. It's just, I don't know.
No, his receiver didn't wrong. Okay, that interception where Greg Stroman picked him off. You can't.
Yes, that was great. Okay, so now you're putting 1 interception on Howell, and what about the other one?
You really want to see the other one? You really want to see the other one that your quarterback did so good on? Let's see. Hold on. Let me find the absolute video.
I don't believe that he has a great surrounding cast. All right, but I do think that he's a solid play caller, and I don't know if he can be like. I don't know if he's like head guy material. Maybe that's why everybody's staying away from him. But I think he can call plays, and he can call plays within rhythm. I think there's something to be said about calling plays within rhythm. So that's what I've got on it. All right. Am I betting my fucking house on it? No. All right. No, I'm not betting my house on it.